and yes, it's been a trying hour or so because I so wanted to do a video interview today with Brigitte Antom, who actually I often do the Elders Wisdom calls with, and we set up to do a Zoom call, and it didn't work. So now I'm trying to see if it works on my own on Restream. So if you are there, please, if you can see and it's working. I don't know what's wrong with the internet today. Absolutely doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's been cutting in and out all day. Maybe it's working a bit now. So let us see. Yes. Yes, it seems to be working now. So that's good, isn't it? Perseverance furthers. That's always been my motto. It's so easy to just give up and to think, oh, the universe is against me. I shouldn't do this. And who knows, maybe it's going to cut off in a minute. So maybe it still won't work. But anyway, maybe it will. So let's keep going. And right, keep going. That's what I say. Never, never, never give up, even though everything seems to be giving you a sign that perhaps you should give up. So I wanted to just share with you a little bit about the trauma skills training. So you may or may not know that at Healing Waters, you know, we do a number of things. We have retreats and guests for bookings and therapy breaks and so on. But my real work is in trauma healing. And that's really why I set up Healing Waters and why I've also set up the Healing Gardens. It's to help people become embodied. And by embodied, I mean to actually have a grounded experience and come into their bodies and learn how to calm their nervous systems. So I guess although I haven't given up, I've felt a little bit stressed in the last hour. So let's just start for a moment with sharing this beautiful, beautiful video. And so can we turn it on? Let's see. I'm just learning how to do these things all the time. So learning how to do it. Where did it go? So, okay, does it work like this? So you're my guinea pigs at the moment, as I'm learning how to do this stuff. So, how do I actually start it off? I did work this out previously when I did another talk, when we did our music evening. I figured it all out, and now it doesn't seem to be working. So let's minimalize, maximize. Yeah, I just wanted to share this with you because it's so beautiful. This is Thich Nhat Hanh, who's recently died. And stop sharing. He's recently died, and he was a very, very inspiring person that he has. Let's come back from that. Yes, so, okay. Um, so, a bit of a challenging day. Do you ever get challenging days? So, is anyone there? And do you get challenging days? Do you set out to do something in your day and find that there's all sorts of obstructions to you doing what you plan to do? And what happens when you do have obstructions? So everything that I have planned to do so far with regards to conveying to you information about the trauma skills program seems to be blocked. And does that mean that I have to give up on what I wanted to share with you? So I absolutely can't figure out how this works at this point. So anyway, let's just cut it short then. So many years ago, I started doing healing work with people who are very, very traumatized. And I had my initial training around trauma when I trained as a cranial sacral practitioner. And my first introduction to it, into trauma, was one day when we were having a demo when I was at the Karuna Institute, and Franklin Sills was my teacher. And on that particular day, he was demoing trauma work, because the awareness about trauma healing was just coming in to a kind of how can I say, it's like it's really important work, but it wasn't really known in the mainstream therapeutic channels. And Franklin Sills introduced it through his cranial sacral training, when he personally was studying the work of Dr. Peter Levine, and he was beginning to employ the approaches of Dr. Peter Levine. And he was demoing with this woman that went spontaneously into this experience of being savaged by a dog. And it was so totally distressing to me. It's like, how on earth can you do this work? How can you work with somebody that is so distressed? Because it stirs up the emotions so much, and it's really, really difficult to be able to stay present to that degree of suffering. And I did ask Franklin how to do that, and he said, well, it's really important to stay grounded and to stay detached. Whatever is going on, that you actually stay detached with that. And so it interested me, because I've had a lot of trauma in my life, and I started studying about trauma and did years and years and years of therapy work. And then I decided that I actually wanted to write my own trainings, do my own trainings, because I felt like this was really, really important skills, that no matter what therapy approach you're taking, if you don't understand about the nervous system and understand about trauma, then your therapy work kind of suffers as a result of that. Because at any point in time when we are doing therapy, if we don't understand how to regulate our own nervous system, then we can very easily get very activated ourselves and very distressed about the content of what's happening, the distress of the client. So that's why I put together the trauma skills training, and it's now been running for, well, I've run 9 trainings, and this is the 10th one that is starting this year on the 9th of April. And it's a very, very comprehensive training in terms of it covers a wide area of topics around trauma. But the most important things that we learn, that like the foundations of trauma healing, is about safety. It's about being able to listen deeply, and it's about resourcing. It's teaching people how to stay really grounded in their bodies, how to resource, and how to feel safe in connection with somebody else. So that's the basis of the trauma healing work. And these things sound really simple to say, but there's so many things that stir us up all the time or prevent us from doing that. So the year 1 training is very much about learning somatic skills, learning to understand the nervous system, learning how to access that understanding, not just as an intellectual thing, but actually to be able to feel it in your body so that you can begin to recognize in your body through things that are happening in your body sensations that indicate to you that you are becoming dysregulated. And when you notice that, how to actually use somatic skills, physical skills, to re-regulate your nervous system and to bring yourself back into what we call a window of tolerance. So as a practitioner, or if you're working with people in any way, even as a parent, it's important to understand how to recognize when you're getting dysregulated and bring yourself back into regulation. So that's kind of the foundation of the year 1 training, is to do that, but it's also about understanding different therapeutic approaches and understanding the different aspects of trauma, because we tend to think still of trauma as being something bad that's happened to somebody, like a car accident, like an abuse, like a surgery maybe, although people still generally think that surgery doesn't cause any trauma. But actually there are all sorts of things going on in life that can leave us traumatized. And it's understanding that broad scope of what causes trauma. And to recognize that actually most people are traumatized. So this brings us to the topic of collective trauma and generational trauma. So we touch into all of those things on the year 1 training, and we also go very deeply into birth, pre and perinatal trauma. When I say very deeply, I mean over the course of a weekend, but you can go much, much deeper into pre and perinatal trauma than what we cover on that weekend. But it's an introduction to the different types of trauma and the different approaches to healing it. So there you are, that's just a little taster. And I have written the handbooks for each module of the trauma skills training. I don't have the module 1 handbook here, but is the module 2 is all about activation and neurobiology, the trauma healing spiral, traumatic memory, and therapy guidelines. I've got, what else have I got here? Module 4, all about boundaries. Releasing frozen trauma energy and developmental trauma. So anybody that knows about trauma knows that each one of those are really, really big subjects. So we're just giving you a little taster into each subject. And it's not just an intellectual training, it's that we have a teaching spot, and then we get into pairs, and we have exercises that gradually build this awareness of what we're teaching, how to do it, learning all about therapeutic restraint, learning how to listen deeply, learning how to build compassion, and lots of group healing. So on this training, what you're doing is one, learning something intellectually, but also learning how to embody it and how to actually do it, how to work with it. And module 5 is all about pre and perinatal trauma healing. So that's just a little taster, and thank you for bearing with me on this day when everything seems to be going wrong. Can't make anything work that I'm trying to share with you, and I'm still a bit frustrated because I wanted to play for you this lovely, lovely recording with Thich Nhat Hanh and his chant about compassion. Anyway, so fingers crossed, tomorrow I can do my interview, or over the next few days, and get some testimonials. This course has been absolutely life-changing for so many people, and it's an incredible opportunity at this time to jump in and get these really, really important skills that make such a big difference to people's lives. And what else? That's it. I don't know. My mind has gone blank in this moment. So yeah, April the 9th. That's when we start. Okay, so lots of love to you, and speak again soon. Bye for now. Bye.